This is my beautiful new 1976 Fender Rhodes electromechanical piano. I'm gonna embarrass myself a whole bunch, not really fully understanding exactly how this whole thing works, but I mean, incredible. This is just, I gotta get you in here to see. So this was pretty much, I did not just find this instrument. Well, I did. My Wurlitzer here. This takes kind of a lot of abuse, and so mine failed. I took it to my tech, Mark Ross, and he just swapped it out. I had to use this for a session, so he swapped out just the sustain pedal for a brand new one. So I got a brand new sustain pedal while he tried to fix mine, and in the meantime, he showed me around his shop, and I looked at all of the Fender Rhodes that he has. Now, the most sought after Fender Rhodes is probably the Mark I, the really early ones. This one is, it is still a Mark I, but it's a later Mark I. I think in the early 70s is when they changed, and with that change, they included this stereo vibrato, and that's what I really wanted. I love the sound of this vibrato. Now, the keys here have this awesome, to me, this is so cool. He thought about maybe refinishing these keys or something, but I love how these keys look. I love how they feel. Something to watch out for is the side-to-side wiggle. When these get old and wear out, they wiggle to the side. Mark has fixed all that issue. Also, this has an awesome action. It has the modification. I'll go through the pictures of the whole process of fixing this up. The top here is deliciously scuffed and scraped because I am going to be putting all kinds of stuff on top of this thing. I'm going to be using it, playing it, taking it out, putting other keyboards on top of it. Now this is the preamp right here. This is effects send and effects return. I'm sending up here to my current pedal board situation. I have loop 2 down here. I set this up for a guitar, but now it's really cool to use on this. I'll kind of, while it's set up, see I have, this is loop 1, is purple like the Ross Fuzz. I have a phase on it now. I just got this phaser for my Deacon Blues. I was learning Deacon Blues. That's going to be maybe stereo phasers. I don't know. I got another one. It's a little fuzz. Awesome. Okay, going over to loop 2 now. Got some overdrive. Well, got all kinds of things on here. That's gonna be really fun to mess around with. These pedals, I really need to learn how they work. So cool. Little subtle and natural overdrive. And always carbon copy. So I got my effects send and return there through the preamp. This is a great preamp. It goes into the power amp section down here in the speaker cabinet. So inside this speaker cabinet, we have two 12-inch speakers facing the front, and on the back side against the wall, there's two more 12-inch speakers. So there's a total of 4 speakers in this entire cabinet. I don't know exactly the power amount, but there is actually the original power unit was taken out of this Rhodes and replaced with a PV power section. He fixed this light. It's kind of cool how it turns on and off. The PV power amp I think it's got a little more power. I was originally thinking of plugging my pedal steel into this and running a whole rig with it, but this instrument is pretty heavy. It's kind of tough to move around, put on a stage. It's a little too much right now, but maybe I'll figure that out more down the line. We have, so these are channel 1 and 2 out. This is left and right. This is how I record. I'm recording it right now I'm just taking straight out of there, right into, I have this little extra few channels there. And I'm going right into, now I'm using Luna. Wish me luck with the Luna. So that's how that works. Let me set this down and I'll get into inside how this works. It uses tines, which is really cool. The tines have a really smooth, like a sine wave type of sound, obviously, that you heard. It's really easy to take this off. So when I got it, it was kind of acting up actually because of this right here. Of course, it's not really going to focus. This part right here, it was kind of, he was really trying hard to get everything right with the preamp because when he finished it all, he put it all back together, did that after video, and the two channels were out of phase with each other. So he was taking everything back apart and putting it back together and really like soldering on these kind of a little rough. There's solder everywhere, and there was a loose point in here that was making it so like you had to jiggle it to get it to work. And the problem turned out to be his DI that he was using to record. There was no problem at all with the actual preamp or power amp or anything like that. I got a new cable here. Some very solid stuff. So you can kind of see there how this works. That's a tine that's vibrating. See, this is a rubber piece. There's a felt piece there. It's a little better focus. That's how it works. I wish I could explain to you. This is pickups, I believe. This part, let's see what happens. Kind of wish I had two hands. What happens when, I'll do this, sustain pedal. Oh, okay. So this part is kind of keeping it, it's definitely vibrating. So cool. Here's Mark Ross's business card. There we go. Mad Scientist Keyboard Revival. If you want one of these, reach out. There's what looks like is trying to be a serial number, sort of. This is made by Fender in Fullerton, California. It sounds beautiful. I'm very happy with it. Now let's show you some of the pictures. This is a picture of the felt, ends. I don't know if you can see the modification, I believe, is on the end of the red felt. There's little small red extra felt pieces at the end. He changed all of those to make the action, improve the feel of the action. I think that's a common modification, but he changed just the little ends, and then he did the big ones. Well, and then yeah, it looks like he removed the whole entire felt from every key. On to the next picture, we have the piano with no keys. Looks like this was all cleaned up, polished up. Maybe that's all brand new felt stuff. Probably anything that's felt and rubber, I would guess, is kind of worn out. Okay, here is all the keys nicely put back together. Something about this model is that it has plastic hammers The original, I think the older ones were wood, is what he said. But these plastic ones they're still really nice. I like it. There's another angle. Here's all the pins that the keys are gonna slide up and down on. You want those to be nice and smooth. I'm really gonna sound dumb looking through all this, but I definitely want to show you all the pictures of Mark's meticulous work on this. A lot of this stuff would normally, I have bought and sold so many old cool used vintage instruments. I've gotten so many things that were like the seller didn't even know. He didn't even know that usually that there's all these problems with it. Like I had an 88 key Rhodes before that it came from a church, and it was so cool to have just a Rhodes. It was a suitcase 88 key, so big, so heavy. It was so cool to have, but unfortunately it was in tune, okay with itself, but then I couldn't really use it because it was so out of tune. The action was really bad, and good luck trying to find somebody to help you out with those problems. Most of the time that kind of thing just goes unsolved. Oh, here's a great close up of the felt with the modification for the action at the end. Oh, here's the whole cabinet. Um we're missing the two other speakers facing the other way, on the panel that's removed. But yeah, it does look like what we saw earlier is in the middle, between the two speakers. Here's everything. I mean, I think these are the original speakers that would have come with it. Maybe maybe they're Fender replacements. We have a huge transformer here. Actually, maybe that thing in the middle is that's the PV. Yeah. Yeah, that's the power amp in the middle. It's all the keys laid out. Oh man, he really stripped those things down all the way. Took all the felts off. All brand new felts. Oh, and this, you can see here the sections of I think those are dampers, the white things. That's it. That's all the pictures I have. Let's see. I just can't stress enough that I've shown some cool vintage, I've shown off my Wurlitzer before, and I have a bunch of cool vintage instruments. I am pretty good at this point I do this with cars too. Is like I buy a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of problems with it. I really don't just happen upon something really great. I know kind of what to look out for. I'm still always learning, but you don't just sometimes it does work out where you just happen to get something great, but usually you need to have a lot of experience, I think, buying and selling and putting your hands on things and opening up and seeing how it works. And Mark Ross is just probably one of the greatest people to know. to teach me how these awesome instruments work and be able to fix them. He said I would definitely break a tine on this. Um, I always so, and he said that wasn't a big deal. The reason why I have a Wurlitzer and a Rhodes separately is the Wurlitzer has a lot of like mid-range bark and character. It's it has a lot of personality to the sound, and the Rhodes, in contrast, especially this 1976, is very smooth. Has a very smooth sound, more for like jazz and R&B. Um, I hate to separate them by genres of music, but when I want like a mid-range bark, I go for the Wurlitzer, and when I want something really smooth, I go for the Rhodes. Also, the Wurlitzer, I actually can. I have the perfect like gator case to put it in, and I can. It's very portable. Whereas the Rhodes, I found out I put it all in my car to take it to a rehearsal, and I got the There's a case that goes right on top and makes it fit, like it's called a suitcase. Uh, so it is a suitcase, but it's just too big. With two people, yeah, that's not a problem to move it around, but just me by myself, that's too much. It's too much. I got the keyboard in the car, and then as I started moving that amp with the four speakers, I just I I'm gonna hate my life if I keep doing this. Come here or let me record some tracks for you. Uh, Go to my website rossharrell.com, and I can provide the sound of these awesome vintage instruments on your recording.